Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're moving along on the coffee table. I want to show you some stuff I've done offline or behind the scenes. This is the hardwood floor that I was talking about. So what I've done is I ran it through the planer, and it is oak. And what I did is I took off the ribbon, or I guess the spacing that they usually do underneath the hardwood, and that's allow it to have air circulation, okay? So we removed that. The face is pretty good. So we'll have to run this through the table saw and get rid of all the tongue and groove off of it. And then I can cut the thickness in order for doing the spining around this unit. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the thickness, I'm gonna cut a bunch, and then I'm gonna actually bullnose each corner, and we'll clean them up and then glue them on, cut them to size and then glue them on this. Now if we move over here, hopefully you guys follow me, you'll see that I've got the wood all done. Now this has still got a little bit of prep to do. So what I got to do is some of them are a little bit off, and that's probably when I was cutting with the table saw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a straight edge one. I got one that's pretty straight here. And run this through the machine again, run it through the table saw and clean it up. As long as I can get them somewhat butting up against each other nicely, then I can run a planer through it. And that should work out perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plane up a bunch of the hardwood and get it ready to be cut on the table saw first. And then we'll move on from there. Okay guys, so I'm going to plane a bunch of the boards. You can do some of the longer ones. This way I can cut them with the table saw. We're just going to raise this up just a touch. So we want to make sure that we've got just enough to take off the top layer. We'll walk that up and let's see how. It's too tight. Try that. Too loose. Try that. Not bad. Not bad at all. Looking pretty good. Okay guys, so I've got everything done. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you the profile. So this was that hardwood floor, okay? So I had the tongue and groove. It had these bevels underneath. And this is what it is now. Okay, so it's been plain cut. The tongue and groove have been cut off. And this is what we're going to do the fluting or spining around that coffee table. So what I did here is I cut two pieces and I had my wife take a look at it at what thickness. So we did one at a 1/2 inch and we did one at 1 inch. So they all coincided to the inch thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a bunch of inch pieces thickness, and then we're going to bullnose those, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I guess what we'll do is we'll cut them first, and then we'll get the router ready to go with the bullnose. So let me slice these at 1 inch, and then we'll move from there. All right, just trying to get myself set up, guys. We need to be dialed in nicely in order for this to actually work. Not bad. There we go. That actually looks pretty good. So we'll get a little bit of sandpaper. Not bad. I mean, the plywood's falling apart, but the hardwood should be okay. Not bad. Let's do a piece and see how she works out. And see what happens. Oops, of course. There you go, guys. That looks sweet. Nice. Very happy with that. And that is going to go right on here. It's going to work out perfectly. Okay, we got lots of them to do. Okay, guys, the compressor is going to keep going. I'm going to move along, so we'll try. What we want to do is spread this glue out as even as we can. See how she goes. I don't even think I need that. Not bad. We'll cut that one. So guys, we've got all the ribboning or strapping done right around this coffee table. It's all done. I do a little bit of prep and clean it up a little bit, but it's looking good. So off camera, what I did is I went ahead and cut the base of this table. I figured you saw how I did the top. I did this exact same way, just about 4 inches smaller. I did cut some spacers. And if you remember when I cut that flexiform ply, I ended up cutting a 4-inch strip. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a bunch of these spacers all the way around and put that other one on top, and then we're going to nail that again. So let's get to it. All right, we'll add some glue. I made a couple of marks. We're going to put about 8 pieces in there just to make sure this is going to hold the whole table, right? So we want to make sure it's going to hold it and hold it well. Let's do it like we did the last time. We'll pick her on up. Let's pick a side on what side we're going to do it on the line wise, and we'll get it as flush as we can. We'll do that all the way around. I think I've got 8 pieces cut out. Should be more than enough. We stayed on the outside. Now what I did is I made this tiny bit smaller than the flexiform piece that I cut. For this, we're actually going to veneer with some oak. And what I want to do is make sure it's nice and flush. That's important. And the other one, I had a little bit of a gap which I could fill in, and it didn't really matter because I was covering it with the fluting or the strips of oak. So this one, there's nothing to hide any imperfections, so we're going to try to make sure we've got it as flush as we can. Now these pieces are pretty short, so I don't foresee me having any issues of it not being square. Looks pretty good. All right, I'm happy with that. So what I did through this piece is I drilled a hole right through it. And I drilled a hole through that. So I can take my, my drill bit and move it around to make sure it's square on both ends of the circular portion or circumference. So let's add a little bit of glue. I'm going to show you what I mean. And of course we've got wasps everywhere. Growing up we used to make wine. And we used to order these cases of wine, and it was always around this time of year. And we used to have wasps all over the place. I can't remember how many times I got stung as a kid. So we're going to take that little drill here. I think I got it down there somewhere. Of course it's not long enough. Do I have something that's long enough? There we are. We should be bang on. And we are. Okay. Well, let's nail this guy in. What I'm going to do is just make sure it's flush. Just put one nail in there for now. So my back's not turned to the camera. Turn that compressor back on. Okay, we got it all nailed. We got this thing ready to go. Now this should fit perfectly. I trimmed it slightly, but I should be able to get that on there. So what I'll do is I'll put this in an upright position. I changed my nails on the gun. Okay. Let's get out of here. So we'll start off. So this is the bottom, and we want it to be as flush as possible to the piece that's going onto the actual other base. And I'll tell you, this way I'll find it easier to deal with when it comes to fitting it on there, spaces and stuff like that. Oh, I need to get myself set up. I'm trying to keep it so you guys can see it. As flush as I can. And of course, we'll have to add some more glue as we move along. Now I can use a router to clean off the top. That might be something I will do. Take out my handheld. Not bad. Cut that slightly. Well, we're not too bad. We've got to cut the top, but that's okay. I'm good with that. Okay, so let me get a knife. Let's see if we can do it. Square. Yep. It was okay. Now, of course, we've got a nail right where I need it, so I'm just going to smack that in. Okay, we'll nail around the sides. She's good. Now this won't be fluted the same way or with the slots. This will be completely, we're going to put veneer, an oak veneer around it, so it should look pretty cool. Just have a little bit of contrast. And what we're going to do is we got to clear off this. So, in saying that, I'm wondering if I put it on the table saw and grind off that little bit of that meat off of this thing and try it that way. We'll let the glue sit for a bit and then we'll take a look and see if we can do that. So I'm going to try this on a table saw. I don't recommend doing it at home, but I'm going to give it a shot, see if I can move things along a little quicker. Lower the blade down just a bit. I'm going to see if I can actually take that out for now. If I run it up against that fence, let's do a little test run and see what happens. That worked out perfectly, guys. Okay, a couple little burrs on there, but no big deal. All right, we can sand that down a little bit, and we gotta fill in the voids. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to mix a little bit of material, like that, and we're going to fill in some voids here that I want to fill in, and that had a lot to do with my jigsaw capabilities, but that's okay. We'll get a piece of scrap of something. I can mix some glue and sawdust together. Huh, do I have anything to do that with? You know what? I'll do it on this little piece of wood here. Just gonna rip a piece off of it. Let me see if I can move you guys over a bit and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Oh, you guys can see pretty good from there. Okay. So what I did is I always collect a little bit of sawdust. And what I'll do is I'll get some glue. Like so. I don't need much, but and we'll just mix it up. Good wood filler. And what I'll do is wherever I think I can squeeze some in, and just push. Now, I'll use the other stuff I have in the can to do where the nails are and stuff, but wherever there's a gap of any sort, I'll do it with this. There we go, guys. All the gaps are filled completely. And just take this excess off of this. And this wasp again. Come on now, get out of here. I don't want to kill you, but if you keep coming around me, consider yourself warned. All right, so we'll let that dry a bit, and then we'll get on it. We'll sand her down, and the other side I'll do some of the finer stuff, wood filler, and we'll go from there. Okay, guys, I'm going to move this thing on over. I'm going to let it finish drying. I've got a couple of boards on my winters there. Clean off this table. There we go. Now I just want to make sure that I can get this guy in there. this, of course, will go on the other side, but let me just make sure. Will this go in there? It will. Okay. We're going to need that enough just to center this guy out later. And I think I have a little bit I can use instead of that one. All right, so let's clean off this table and we'll get that back up here and start cleaning it up a little. Need my little brush. And where may that be? Oh, there it is. All right. Wow. Now, I've got this one side prepped. The other side's on a finished state. I had to put the finer thing on it. Oh, now she's starting to get some weight. So let's clean this top piece up. What is this? It's 80 grit. And this is 40. Let's put 40 on here. Actually, that one's still pretty good. Not bad, guys. That's almost dry, so that's good too. Dust that off. And now we're going to put another coat on top of the one that I mixed. So, go ahead. A piece of wood somewhere. Where's that piece of wood I had? It's somewhere. Oh, dude. Oh, there it is. All right. There. Hold that up. Now I had a spatula. Screwdriver. So I'm going to get this flipped up. I got it all filled. I'm going to get it on top of there. So I'm going to put this down on the top of that. Now this is where it's going to get fun. Not only do I have a bad back, I also have a bad arm right now. I'm not going to be able to lift this. Wow, that ain't no joke. Let's kind of get an idea of what she's going to look like. Oh, not bad. I got her pretty well where I needed her. There you go, guys. What's my height right now? I got a 3/8 spacer in there right now too, so not too worried. Yeah, so it's going to be about 17. Take 3/8. I'm at 15.5, 1.5 inches, 17. That's good. Good height. So there we go, guys. So I'm going to call it on this one. I don't want these videos getting too long. So we still got some work to do on this. If you guys watch to this point, I truly do appreciate it. Please subscribe. It truly helps me out, helps the channel grow, and I need that to happen. And if you like the video, throw me a thumbs up. We'll see you on the next one.